isn't a conventional doctor, though. Ballina, County Mayo. Now that is not very far, for those of you who are interested in poetry, from the Lake Isle of Innisfree, which is Sligo, which is near there. Oh wow, that is such a story. Yes it is. Claire's birth is poetry. Oh yes, I'd love to go there. Does that mean you want a little bit more information about how Claire was born, or? Yes, what a story. I mean, Claire, you talk about Paris, you show us around Paris, you introduce us to, yes, the Lake Isle of Innisfree, yes. Innisfree, yeah. I must arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there of clay and wattles made. Now don't ask me to try to recite the whole thing. Ah, my good friend Madzup has arrived. Yes, it is Yeats's grave, Ben Bulben. Yes, yeah, it's just lovely to see you all. I mean, this is, when I started doing Periscopes, there were about 4 people who came here, and Claire has transformed the situation, because today she's encouraged people to come and, listen to me reading poetry. I do other things besides poetry. Anyway, let's go back to poetry. Yes, it is great. Well, I thank you so much, Conversare. I'll have to try to put places to all of you. Actually, I know what I'll do. It's very simple. I'll just send you all a tweet. I'll play this back. I'll make up I'll send a list, and in the process of showed my channel to authors and poets from Regis University, meeting here in a coffee shop. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I will get on the old aeroplane and whatever and come and read. But mind you, this is Walt Whitman who you're getting, and I am going to read the whole of Drum Taps. I promise you that. Oh yes, I'm in Cork in Ireland. Which is right on the south coast of the island. And by the way, in terms of following people, I'm a big user of Twitter. I've done 96,000 tweets or something like that. I use it a lot. I use it for very many purposes. But I use lists. I use Twitter lists. And that's a good idea. Now that, Miss Quick, is a great idea, where you can just tap on somebody and follow them on Twitter. Look, I'm still struggling with tamales. I won't pretend I haven't quite got my head around what a tamales is. Hello, Adam, and you're welcome to, whatever tamales is, please help me. I'm made of cheese. All right, it's tamales. Come on, several of you know what tamales. It's Mexican food, right? It's Mexican food. Okay, I love Mexican food, but you know that I don't know my Mexican food, but I just love it. It's boiled, right? Let's buy that closed pub in Cork and call it the Periscope pub. Hey, that's a cool idea. Buy a Periscope pub, and then it could be full of ways of live streaming. Troon, west of Scotland, great golf course in Troon. Wow. I wish we could tweet you a pic. Corn Polenta. You can easily tweet me. I mean, you can easily get me. Omani blog is where I am on. It took about, cornmeal around beef. This is getting very intriguing. And I'm going to be getting my notebook out after this, and I'm going to be writing down, wrapped in corn husks traditionally. Yes, I mean, Claire, whose screen doesn't freeze? I do play golf, yes. I used to play a lot of golf, but I have more or less stopped now, I must admit. And look, I can tell you something, Claire, it is just super to have you back here. And I'd say that I speak for everybody when I say that. You create an atmosphere. Oh, yes, I will, of course, visit there. I will. Yeah. Are any of you interested? Oh, look! Don't mind the apologise for the advert. I think it's a damn good advert, and we all know the difference, don't between an advert that's welcomed and one that. Yeah, it's good to put links around. I mean, we can do it on Twitter, can't we? And yeah, you're in the Mexican shop now. Since we have Mexican influence, big Colorado. Oh, right, big Mexican influence in Colorado. Right. Well, you see, there was I thinking it was all California and New Mexico, and I tell you what, the trouble with them. The trouble for Claire is that just about everybody wants her to visit, Everybody wants her to visit. But where Claire wants to go is to go off and be with the animals, really. So we'd all be better to club together and send her off to a game reserve so that she could do things there. Send me the tickets, yes. But Claire, if you had the tickets... look, when I'm interested, I will remember. I'm not... tamales. I am going to be. There is a Mexican restaurant in Cork, but I had a brother-in-law who lives in Arizona, and when he comes to Ireland, he brings all the kit to make Mexican food. So I've had Mexican foods several times in Ireland. Look, Chicago's amazing. Tell me, what yeah. Look, in Chicago, what isn't a big community? When I was in Chicago, I took 11 taxis over over there, and they were from 11 different places. Okay, I will tell you something about myself, right? My grandfather, oh yeah, lovely place. Anyway, I'll read you a poem about Chicago another night. There's a great epic poem, a short epic poem about Chicago. I can't remember who wrote it, but I remember learning it over there. I'm the son of a bookshop owner in Limerick in Ireland, a place that had about 55,000. Down the road from Shannon, only 12, 14 miles from Shannon Airport. You drive in from Shannon Airport, you pass Bunratty Castle and a great pub called Dirty Nelly's. You drive into Limerick. I was brought up there in Limerick and grew up. I went to Galway is like the have fun capital of Ireland, isn't it? Really, it's a great fun place. I just suddenly got very worried that I might run out of power. So we're fine. Yeah, Dirty Nelly's. Yeah. Look. Thank you. Hot damn. We will keep in touch. I have a good feeling that we will not lose contact. Oh, do I say Chicago in a particular way? Right. So what did Claire asked me something else about myself? No, how could I quickly do this? I'm the eldest of 6 children. I greatly disappointed my parents. I failed to satisfy them, so they went on and had 3 brothers and 2 sisters after me. So, yeah, that was the first of my failures in life. I was educated by Jesuits in Limerick, day school, grew up in Limerick, got out of it as quick as I could, went to Dublin, studied social science, majored in sociology, set out to be an academic, failed to finish a major thesis, dropped out of academia, went to London and got a summer job as a bus conductor, intending to go back teaching how to do research and sociological theory to students in third level, sort of civil servant students really in Ireland. And you majored in sociology, right? Do they do Talcott Parsons and do they do Emil Durkheim and do they do those people anymore? Anyway, I became a bus conductor. I was a bus conductor in London for 3.5 years. And I loved that job, loved it. But to be honest, they do Talcott Parsons. Wow. The 2 things I loved London for, I'll tell you, is opera and food. Oh, you became a public school teacher. Oh, right. Oh, right. In which city? You probably told me already, but oh yeah. Well, who couldn't tell stories of the life as a bus conductor? Food, big thing. I'm seriously into. Well, oh, Jesuit too. Right, Jesuit place. Well, so London was just great, so I decided to stay. But and I used to go to operas. When I was on early shift in London, I'd easily go to the opera 3 times a week. Double-decker bus, absolutely a double-decker bus with an open back on it. In those days, I was a bus conductor. I've got a lazy right eye. Couldn't have passed the medical to become a bus driver. That's probably my biggest regret in life. That's a bit extreme to say that. Yes, I've been to opera 3 times a week, many, many times, sitting up in the gods, right, spending my hard-earned money on going to opera. I became, obsessive, really. I did not see the Periscope from Milan. Are you telling me that somebody did a Periscope from the Opera House in Milan? I missed that. Yeah, I used to go very often, but I used to do things like get the record out of the library and read the libretto and play, when this is all, 33 1/3 vinyls. Yeah, what else will I tell you about myself? I've been married. Well, I have 3 children. My first wife and I had 2 boys. They're 32 and 28. I can't rap. No, I can't rap. I can't do performance poetry either. Oh, right. Oh, God. I wish I... Anyway, look, I can't do everything. I was reading his Dark Materials. I'm not precious about poetry. If it gives people enjoyment and it involves playing with words, my goodness, if somebody like E. Cummings can write something that people regard as poetry, then I'm quite sure that rappers can do it too. And frankly, when you see people rapping live and doing performance poetry live, they are some performers, I think. I was put off poetry, I'm sure, at some stage when everybody started treating poets as if they were special. Who do I admire? Well, I have to say Emily Dickinson. If I go for the American poets, it'll be Emily Dickinson, a big lover of Emily Dickinson. Robert Frost. I haven't read that much Robert Lowell, but I like what I have read. The man who wrote The Wasteland, also born in America. Now, who am I? I don't want to forget people really in this. Okay, we get into. I'm trying to think of people who were around. Oh, look! I nearly forgot the most important one. Of course, I'll read Robert Frost someday. I will, of course, read Robert Frost. But the man who really got me to realize the power of words more than anybody else was the First World War poet, Dulce et decorum est. And you can tell now that I'm immediately thinking, who the hell wrote Dulce et decorum est, First World War poet? Somebody help me out, I've drawn a blank. First World War poet, young man, wrote all his stuff between 1815, how do you spell Dulce, D-O-L-C-E? It's a Latin phrase, et, E-T, D-E-C-O-R-U-M, Dulce, sweet, Dulce et decorum est, E-S-T. It means sweet and lovely it is to die for one's country, basically.